The story of Pitcairn Island often surfaces in the popular imagination, a name that echoes with a sense of distant, almost mythical allure. It's a narrative that has been told and retold, capturing hearts and minds for centuries. It's usually presented as a simple romantic tale of high seas rebellion and escape. The story begins with the mutineers of the HMS Bounty, rebellious sailors who cast their captain adrift and turned their backs on the British Empire. In this telling, they found a secret paradise in the vastness of the South Pacific, an uncharted and hidden Eden where they could begin anew. This myth paints a picture of a lawless utopia, a society forged in freedom. It's a vision of a rugged haven carved from the sea, a sanctuary for defiant men and their Tahitian companions, far from the reach of kings and navies. However, when we peel back the layers of this romanticized legend, the reality that emerges is far more complex, shadowed, and layered. The truth is less a swashbuckling adventure and more a stark chronicle of human nature under pressure. It is a story of survival, not against the elements alone, but against themselves. A story of profound isolation, where the vast ocean became both a shield and a prison. It is about the enduring, often brutal challenge of building a society from scratch, a microcosm of conflict, despair, and resilience, unfolding in one of the most remote corners of our planet. The story of Pitcairn Island is a remarkable saga of human endurance. Its founding was not one of peaceful settlement, but an act born of rebellion and sheer desperation, played out on the vast, unforgiving stage of the Pacific Ocean. It began with the infamous mutiny on the HMS Bounty in 1789. Led by his charismatic second-in-command, Fletcher Christian, the crew rose up against the tyrannical rule of Captain William Bligh. The culmination of brutal discipline and simmering tensions finally boiled over. After casting Captain Bligh and his loyalists adrift in a small open boat, the mutineers became fugitives of the British Crown, marked men with nowhere to run. Their survival depended on finding a sanctuary, a habitable island so remote it was hidden from shipping lanes, and, crucially, absent from the Admiralty's charts. After months of desperate searching, in January 1790, they found it. Pitcairn, a volcanic remnant misplaced on the map, their perfect fortress. To ensure they could never be found or tempted to leave, they committed the ultimate act of isolation. They burned the Bounty in what is now Bounty Bay, severing all ties to the outside world. But paradise quickly soured. The small community, comprised of 9 mutineers, 6 Tahitian men, and 12 Tahitian women, was a powder keg of power imbalances. Conflict was fueled by disputes over land and women, and amplified by alcohol distilled from the native Thai plant. Deep-seated jealousy and racial resentment erupted into horrific, cyclical violence. Within just a few years, a series of brutal murders, including that of Fletcher Christian himself, decimated the settlement's male population. By the year 1800, a startling transformation had occurred. Only one of the original mutineers, John Adams, remained alive, living alongside the surviving Tahitian women and their children. Haunted by the bloodshed, Adams experienced a profound religious conversion. Using the ship's Bible, he rebuilt a new patriarchal order founded on English traditions and devout Christian principles. When an American whaling ship stumbled upon the island in 1808, they discovered not a den of fugitives, but a devout, functioning, and uniquely blended Anglo-Tahitian community, its violent past carefully buried beneath a veneer of piety and peace. Pitcairn's identity is bound to its geography, the definition of remote, a volcanic remnant, scarcely 2 square miles adrift in the South Pacific. Sheer, jagged coastlines plunge into turbulent water, no sandy beaches, only treacherous Bounty Bay. Even small boats must navigate with extreme care. Subtropical rains, fertile pockets, and a small flat perch for the village. Weather dictates life. Storms can halt travel entirely. No airport, reached only by sea. Flight to Tahiti, hop to Mangareva, then a long sea passage. Medical care, fuel, flour, machinery, everything must be planned months ahead. The ocean sustains and isolates. The population hovers between 40 and 50, all in Adamstown. Nearly all descend from 9 mutineers and their Tahitian partners. Surnames tell the island's lineage. Modest homes, power for limited hours. Satellite internet links this outpost to the world. Slow living, modern reach. No paved roads. Quad bikes are the workhorses. Everyone's business is everyone's survival. When a ship arrives, all hands help. Meals, worship, and celebrations bind the social fabric. Closeness also brings friction in a village this small. Many youths leave for study, work, and partners abroad. Demographic decline threatens the island's future. Food production is central. Gardens of bananas, papaya, pineapples, breadfruit, sweet potatoes, taro. Many keep chickens. Rich waters, tuna, wahoo, snapper, fishing feeds families and income. Surplus goes to passing ships. The sea gives and the sea takes. You must respect it always. Formal jobs are limited. Administration, public works, maintenance, tourism, private enterprise, carvings, artisan goods, stamps, honey. Connectivity enables commerce and distance education. A tiny school, often staffed by an overseas educator. A supply ship's arrival is the event. Fuel, materials, medicine, groceries, mail, ordered months in advance. When it leaves, they're on their own again. Order in a small world, governance and law. As a British overseas territory, ultimate authority rests with the United Kingdom. The governor, usually the British High Commissioner in New Zealand, represents the Crown. UK support covers defence, foreign affairs, and justice. British aid funds, services and infrastructure. Locally, a democratically elected council handles ordinances, budgets, and public works. Any resident 18+ can vote and stand for office. Minor matters go to a local magistrate. Serious cases convene the Pitcairn Supreme Court. Trials require flying in legal teams at great expense. Islanders value autonomy, tempered by UK oversight and support. A delicate partnership sustains a community of 50, shattering the romantic myth, crime, reality, and reckoning. In the early 2000s, allegations of historical child sexual abuse came to light. Investigations and trials exposed a painful history. A special court convened on Pitcairn itself. A significant portion of the male population, including the mayor, was implicated. Convictions tore families, revealing a culture of silence. Men were imprisoned. A jail was constructed on the island. Support staff enforced protection and began community healing. UK oversight deepened to safeguard residents, especially children. It was a hard time, the hardest time. But we had to face it to get better. This reckoning is now part of Pitcairn's complex identity. The culture of Pitcairn is a unique and resilient fusion, born from the unlikely union of English seafaring roots and Polynesian customs. It's a living history, shaped by isolation and necessity, where the echoes of the Bounty mutineers and their Tahitian companions still resonate in the daily lives of their descendants. This heritage is most audible in Pitcairn, a Creole language blending the 18th century English of the sailors with the vocabulary of their Tahitian partners. While English is used for official business, Pitcairn remains the language of home, the intimate dialect of family and friendship. Simple greetings carry the weight of this history. What away you? How are you? About you Gwen? Where are you going? Each phrase is a thread connecting the present to a singular past. Religion, too, has been a central pillar since John Adams, the last surviving mutineer, turned to the Bible to build a moral framework for the fledgling society. Today, the community is predominantly Seventh-day Adventist, a faith that profoundly shapes the island's weekly rhythm. The Sabbath, observed strictly from Friday sunset to Saturday sunset, is a time for rest, worship, and community. All work ceases, the island quiets, and life turns inward. Church services, shared potluck meals, and the singing of hymns are more than religious observations. They are the spiritual and social glue that binds the small village together, reinforcing bonds in a place where interdependence is paramount. Artistic expression is woven into the fabric of survival. Carving is the island's emblem craft. Using local miro and imported woods, artisans create intricate models of fish, birds, and most famously, the HMS Bounty. These are not just souvenirs, they are heritage objects, each piece a story told in wood. The art of weaving, a skill passed down from the community's Tahitian foremothers, also endures in the crafting of hats, baskets, and fans from pandanus leaves. These traditions, alongside oral histories and legends, are the vital threads binding generations. Pitcairn defies simple labels. It is neither a forgotten paradise nor a failed utopia. The truth in the 21st century lies somewhere in the complex space between these extremes. It is a real, living community, a microcosm of humanity facing universal challenges of survival, governance, and identity, but under the unique pressure of extraordinary isolation. Yet, this isolation has fostered a profound connection to the environment. In 2016, the community designated its entire exclusive economic zone as a marine reserve. At 834,000 square kilometers, it is one of the largest in the world, a sanctuary for pristine coral reefs, deep-sea biodiversity, and countless undiscovered species. This act of conservation is also an investment in the future. Sustainable ecotourism is seen as a potential lifeline, but it presents a paradox. How to welcome the world, without eroding the very culture and tranquility that make Pitcairn unique. Modernity arrives, not as a flood, but in carefully managed streams. The island is transitioning to renewable energy to reduce its reliance on diesel generators. Upgraded satellite communications, funded by Elon Musk's Starlink, have brought high-speed internet, opening doors to a digital economy, remote work, and telemedicine. But resilience sits beside profound vulnerability. The island remains utterly dependent on the quarterly supply ship from New Zealand for food, fuel, and medicine. Climate change threatens this link, with rising sea levels and more intense storms making the already treacherous landing at Bounty Bay even more difficult. The challenge of depopulation is ever present. Attracting new residents is critical, but the realities of island life are daunting. As one islander might say in Pitcairn, all's gut for alls. Meaning, what's good for one is good for all. A proverb underscoring the deep need for communal cooperation to overcome these existential threats. The story of Pitcairn is the broader human journey in miniature. From a violent founding, through struggles for justice and faith, to a modern grappling with sustainability, it reveals the limits and the remarkable possibilities of living together. More than a historical footnote, it is a home. A legacy carried by fewer than 50 people who must now navigate the currents of the 21st century. The tale of shipwreck and secrets has become a continuing narrative of survival and adaptation. Pitcairn asks not for judgment or romanticism, but that we listen to its ongoing story. A story of the enduring human spirit, written on a small rock at the very edge of the world.